All right, welcome back, everybody. If you missed it, you just missed. Wow, missed. I don't even know what I crammed together as far as 2 words. I don't even know what I was going for.
Don't worry, Luke. You got it.
You missed a
You can do
hype
this.
matchup. Maybe it was missed and matchup. I don't know. It was a
You-
3-0 Red
you-
Sun over Kraken Warriors, but it was really close as far as a couple of the games there. So you missed that. But Zach is now here. So Zach, how's it going, my dude?
Zach.
I'm actually, guys, I'm having a hard day.
That
sorry.
sucks.
No, it's just that a woe gang's not playing. You know,
Oh my God.
really gets me down.
I feel that.
God, man, it's just it's hard, you know. But I'm gonna get through it. Just like we can do this together. We can do it together.
I'll always be by your side.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Okay, this is
strong, Zach.
this is not a soap opera, guys. This is Splatoon 2 Easter.
Hey, guys. Listen, guys. Zach, don't worry, man. You'll be able to see the rescheduled match during the week. A good say against Net Supremacy, and then next week we can see Xylo destroy them. So it's all good.
Stop it right now.
All right. Let's move on because we got a real matchup going on right now. It's Symphony taking on Resilience. The battle of the bands, as we like to call it here, because both teams are without a win. Resilience, Daybreak, and on the team, O Carbine, Hydra, Pan Julian, Para, 003, Rosie coming right at you. Meanwhile, Symphony is led up by Swampy on the team, Takura, Pez, Kayo, and Ozzy. So let's take a look at the stats there. The third and fourth team, Symphony and Resilience. Again, Symphony at an 0-4 record, Resilience at 0-5. This is a battle to finally get your first win of the season. IPS, who are you predicting to win this matchup based on the stats, based on what you've been seeing from these teams?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I really do not know because we got the two worst amateur teams so far, right? Because of the fortune they're both winless, and the only stat that I see that's distinctly different is the fact that Resilience has gotten 3 KOs and Symphony has gotten 0. And I really do not know who's gonna win. I'm gonna be honest.
Honestly, though, from what I've seen, I keep saying this week in and week out, I'm surprised that Symphony is still without a win. We went into the season saying, hey, they could be a playoff team. They've looked pretty close in some of their series. They had a heartbreaking loss, I believe, against, Regular Gamers last week in a Game 5 that could have gone either way. They almost had a chance at beating Xylo, the best team that's undefeated. They did not look super great against Tent Supremacy, but still went 3-1. And then West Broadway, they went 3-1 as well. So even though they're without a win, they're a team that has put up a game victory against every single team that they've played so far. So to me, that says at least something towards the team, whereas Resilience, most of their close matchups have come from teams that are either the middle of the pack or at the bottom of the pack. So in my mind, I still think Symphony has the advantage, but Solver, I don't know. What do you think?
Just purely going off stats, I would root for Symphony here.
Question mark?
They're so close. Yeah. But
Right.
I do agree with you that yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Right,
it's funny because
actually-
stats, as you said, IPS are literally almost identical. The biggest discrepancy besides the KO is that Resilience has, about 1 more death per minute than Symphony does. But every other stat, if you look across the board, is almost, even paint per minute is 20 apart from each other, which is
The spread average is almost 5 difference.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right, guys. Okay, here's my take, right? So, Resilience, I feel like Resilience kind of seems to Symphony because Resilience hasn't played bad. It's not like it was a team that was underseeded and then, they did atrocious like some of the teams in Division 1 of Ludi. But, basically, I think it really just is the fact that both these teams are amateur level, but they're the lower end, and they make mistakes that, for example, the other teams like higher up in this amateur league, around the middle and the top, for example, Xylo, kind of these issues that have been ironed out, issues that still these two teams have to discover to iron out as well, So I feel like today, actually, who's going to win this set, I still don't know, but it's going to be the team at least that maybe has gone back in scrims lately. They've slugged. Okay, we've lost, 4 or 5 weeks in a row. Let's see what we've done wrong and try iron out those little mistakes so then we can actually focus on bigger things to improve on. So I feel like whichever team has gone back and done that is going to be one to take this set.
Yeah, well, we'll get a chance to see right now because we are ready for game number 1. Symphony going to be rocking that teal color while Resilience takes the magenta color. And we are ready for game number 1 of this best of 5 IPS. Take us away with your thoughts on these teams' weapon choices.
So, of course, besides Symphony, they're going with a pretty standard, Albacore comp. 2 long-range slayers. You got the set for that armor. KO on that E-leader. Just pretty obvious stuff. On the side of Resilience, we're seeing more of a shorter range comp with that Oxshot 52 and that Try and Bamboo. I'd maybe opted more for an aggressive comp with a more aggressive backline. As we see here right now, Resilience is going to get that control right now. And, KO is going to go down to that Inkjet. And, right now, first control is going to go to the side of Resilience.
All right, Resilience showing up. They're showing me wrong, at least so far. Getting an early lead, trying to lock them out right now. Using that splash wall to their advantage. But so far, still a 4v4, so this could flip either way.
But as we saw earlier, could be turned on its head in an instant.
And right now, here's the situation. That's a 2-down situation for Symphony now. Julian, you're on this tri-slosher, maybe looking for another pick. It's going to back up a little bit. Right now, just this comp from Resilience is actually able to hold back the longer range comp. I say that, and it's going to get one. Takura going to go down to the tri-slosher, and Julian still just coming back to clean up, keeping that zone. And right now, even though Symphony has the longer range weapons, they are not abusing that range. They're just letting Resilience wait and then abuse the fact that their weapons win better in short range fights.
Resilience has got this. They just got them wiped besides Sakura, but there's no one left to paint. And so far already, Resilience proving me wrong, giving that first win up in this series. And heck, that was pretty dominant. I mean, Symphony had the zone at first, but other than that, Resilience knocked him down, knocked him out, and Symphony just died over and over again. So GG's to Resilience picking up that first win. Going into game number 2. That was pretty dang impressive. IPS, how did they do it?
Well, of course, the 2 comps we saw there in that game are extremely different. On the side of Symphony, of course, you had a more usual Albacore comp, like I said, just long-range weapons that can poke, for pretty much mid-zone to the bridge. The leader, of course, because most teams do run a leader on zones Albacore. Meanwhile, on the side of Resilience, you saw something more unorthodox. You saw a try, which you usually do not see on a map like Albacore because of its size. You saw the 2 short-range shooters, which, again, are weapons you don't usually see because you rather want something long-range. And you saw the Bamboo as well, So, in the end, it worked out for them because I think what Resilience did was basically, when they got control, Symphony tried to basically push Resilience. But when they pushed them, they didn't abuse their range. And with that, Resilience saw them and was like, okay, if you're not going to abuse your range with K-Pro, with CDS, and all this, we can win those fights because Octoshot and 52 are going to win fights at close range against longer.
And they also just group together way too often. You saw they were trying to push from their core, and they would always 2 of them would always head out at a time, and then that tri-slosher could just be like, oh hey, you're grouping together. Oh, you're lost.
Yeah, it didn't seem like they were moving together with those picks. If you're going to get long-range picks, as IPS said, then get those first before going in. It seemed like they were wanting to push right on top of them, and it's just like, thank you, we kill you, and GG's. It's over.
They also managed to lock out Kaio specifically, because I feel like Leader is so great on Albacore zones because it could just outrange literally everything and just kind of sit on a perch and be like, oh, I can paint zone from here, and But like, I never even saw Kyle like come out like once apart from like that one time that they contested zone.
Well,
Like,
that was definitely a great, well-played game by Resilience. We are ready for game number 2. Let's see if they can go up 2 over Symphony. That will be a shock to me. Symphony looking for that comeback to tie us up at that 1-1. Let's see what they can get going. This time around, we're on Tower Control Wahoo World. For some more Splatoon action, we got Symphony again in the teal, and this time around Resilience here in the orange.
All right, so we see on the side of Symphony, they do bring in Ozzy now, and that is going to now be a machine coming out from him, and now looking for more, I guess, less of the long range. They're going to go with their more short range comp themselves with that machine and T-Tech. On the side of Resilience, we see, again, just short range comp. You have Daybreak on that Nautilus, you got that Try and that Zephyr double armor, and again, it's just that 52. So, although here on this map, it might be a bit tough for them since maybe Symphony might be able to adapt here, Luke.
Yeah, and Julian there on that bucket, that Tri-Slosher. This time getting outranged by the other K-Slosher, and so that's going to be a huge pickup. Maybe that's a way that Symphony can take the advantage. But unfortunately, we already have a DC, so that looks like Resilience needs to back off so that they can actually get the free reset here. So Symphony looks like they're going to push the tower, and I believe, yes, Resilience smartly does drop out so that they don't interfere with the KO, and we're going to get a reset here. So unfortunate, but at least we were only 30 seconds into the game, so no one with a real clear advantage anyways.
yeah, like that was a pretty good, just like, I don't know, like both teams did seem to like kind of keep each other in check just like for those 30 seconds, but I honestly did notice that Resilience was able to get a few more picks that just couldn't quite capitalize.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like both teams definitely playing a bit careful. Since you look at the comps, right? We of course Resilience is running the much more aggressive comp. If Symphony wants to play careful because they don't want to get overrun by the aggressive comp, because when you get overrun by the aggressive comp, it just starts snowballing from there. Meanwhile, on the side of Resilience, they want to be a bit more careful themselves as well because they don't want to put themselves into positions where they won't be able to aggress. Because if they put themselves in bad positions, then that's where Symphony can abuse their range, and that's where then it's going to be hard for them to get into positions to actually get that aggression going. So both teams are definitely playing more careful at the beginning there. But like you said, a couple more picks coming out from Resilience, but they didn't really capitalize off that since of the DC, of course.
Yeah, but I also think right away Symphony did get that pick on Julian, which is a good news for them because Julian, that first game in Splat Zones, seemed to be always alive, seemed to be on that Tri-Slosher, always painting the zone back up after those picks and those kills coming out from them. So I think if they have a good answer for Julian and it keeps working out in this game number 2, I'm feeling pretty strong that Symphony can win. But we'll see. We're getting teams back into the lobby, so we should be able to get a quick reset here on game number 2. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these teams square off. But Symphony, I feel like, does need to win this. And if they go down in a 2-0 hole to Resilience, I don't know, man. I don't even think, have we seen a reverse sweep this season yet? I don't think so.
I believe not.
I don't believe so.
I think the only team that was close was Regular Gamers going down 2-0 to Kraken Warriors, taking us to Game 5 and then losing it. So it's pretty tough when you get into a 2-0 hole to actually get the comeback. But it looks like teams are now ready, so hopefully no DCs. Fingers crossed. Let's go. Let's get back into it for game number 2.
So once again, it's going to be the same comps coming out here on TC Wahoo. So not much is going to be changed there, but maybe both teams are going to change how they start off this game, since maybe Julian might be more aware of that machine at the beginning, and maybe Ozzy won't drop down to the carousel to get picked off by 2 people. So we'll see now, as Ozzy and this machine, of course, is going to pretty much do the same approach. Pick already on the Nautilus. So Sydney going to come out with the first pick of the game here, as Swampy is going to come behind his 52, gets the pick there. Has already pretty much 2 down on the side of Resilience, and Symphony here going to get the first push silver.
All right, so we do see that Symphony really already getting in that lockout phase, like Resilience getting pushed back severely, but do manage to find a weak spot in Symphony's lockout.
Yeah, Swampy playing a little bit like a madman, though. I feel like Swampy, if anyone team captain of Symphony, really wants this win, and already getting a few picks does go down there, unfortunately, but at least a good start here for Symphony, already getting past that first checkpoint.
Well,
seemed like-
leaving Ozzy back in their base could be an easy flank if he wanted. Wait, no, he jumped out.
Yeah, and we're already, though, 2 down again on the side of Resilience, so Symphony is just going to get another push once again, and right now it seems like Resilience just they're getting the kills on the defense, but they're not able to get those kills in mid and then actually make their own push. So they gotta find a way to do that right now. Is Julian's gonna push that tower. The agent does come out from Swamp. It's 3 down now on the side of Symphony, and pretty much just a second there. This is now the opportunity for Resilience to get control of mid, start getting control on the map, and unfortunately their DC, which the Resilience is gonna have to play this one out. Unfortunately, do not have a choice. It's already had 1 DC replay. And Booyah Bomb now coming out from Pan. Julian on this Tri-Slosher, maybe gonna try right out and make something happen.
They're probably gonna have to sub out Daybreak after this.
Yeah, looks like Daybreak maybe having some issues. I think that was back-to-back DCs for Daybreak indeed.
It was.
Well, unfortunate, not much you can do about that, but obviously something's wrong with the internet, and unfortunately maybe they hopefully have a sub for game number 3, but it looks pretty tough for them to win this now in a 3v4 already without the lead. Yeah.
See right now, just Symphony gets another, basically a wipe there, and they're just gonna get in here. They're gonna push. They only have to win a 4v3, so you play like a 4v3. You always are an advantage, so you play like you're always an advantage. And yeah, they're just pushing them back, and that's gonna be 2 down. Tri-Slosher, the last one left on the side of Resilience.
Yeah.
Gonna go down as well, and yeah, that's basically gonna be game, Luke. Very unfortunate back-to-back DCs for Resilience, but we're probably gonna need to get a sub right now. Oh, now the right tower, and that's been the KO.
There we go.
Now the set is tied 1-1, although with 2 back-to-back DCs helping Symphony to get that. But you know, right now, Daybreak gonna have to get possibly a sub for Resilience, or else, you know, who knows if they'll be able to keep playing.